And here we go. Nillicomes on the left, of course, Cyriius on the right, random Garant versus Slowpoke Nurgle. And right again, off the bat, that Week of Austerity in play. So strong against decks that are trying to get creatures out onto the field fast. Week of Austerity, of course, you have to pay an extra resource, and if you can't pay it, well, then you're going to take damage. Or at least that's how it's always supposed to have worked. In this patch, it was a little bit stronger, as that you still could take damage even if you paid, depending on how many resources you had left. That, of course, is being fixed today. So, thumbs up there, cards working the way they're supposed to. That is a good thing. But we can see Juggernaut on the field for Nillicomes. Garant's Purge is in his hand. He does have a POW in his hand. He's got a Campfire, so a lot of potential for awesome in Nillicomes' hand, as he'll be able to take that Garant's Purge, get rid of one entire card from the Nurgle hand. And what I mean by one card is not just one occurrence of it, but every occurrence of that card. If he wants to use Garant's Purge and take out a Throne of Renewal, every Throne of Renewal in that Nurgle's hand is gone. Or if he wants to do the POW Deathseeker, just like he just played. His own POW Deathseeker, 3 damage. Nillicomes is that much closer to winning this series 3-1 and going home with a victory. But Cyriuus, of course, has other plans and does put out an Altar of Shadows, which means all those creatures on the field cannot attack. If you were in Nillicomes' position, well, we're about to see what he chooses. I was going to say, what would you pick with Garant's Purge to get rid of out of his deck right now, Enclase?
Like I say, me personally would always take out the Usher Uses All, because the Usher Uses All is in every Arena Mill, for example, and also in Nurgle. It's the main card, because you have so many options with it. Oh, I need another Wasteland. Usher Uses All. Oh, I need another Throne right now. Oh, I need another whatever, Academy for another Stone Shield. Even this is possible, you know?
Right.
You have so many options. And yeah, that's why I would take out maybe most of all the Thrones, but it's a hard decision, because there are so many important cards, you know?
Right.
All 4 Thrones on the hand.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And now he has taken out the Payos. Yeah, the Payos are also an option, of course, because this is the main damage, and with discarding the Payos, he's delaying the game. So Cyriuus definitely need longer, even if he gets control over the game, to finish him.
Yeah.
That's also a good choice.
Definitely. I mean, I get the feeling this is going to be a long game, simply because all those Thrones, he still has the Ashes, so he can just recycle those Thrones.
That's really good with Twist of Fate now, so at least he can discard 1 Throne. But yeah, all Usher Uses All are still on the hand. We know this. And he can't use, I think, the Twist of Fate. I don't see it now. I think he can't, because he has not enough. He needs, against Slowpoke, against OTK, you need to flute the board over and over again. Because if you are not playing anything or not enough, the opponent is just wastelanding you without any problem.
Right.
And if you are in the wasteland rotation, you have a hard time.
Yeah. So we see the Observatory being used by Cyriuus, who actually pulled out the other Throne again and is just continuing to put these cards that are on the field right back into Nillicomes' hand. Week of Austerity is out, which is going to force Nillicomes to keep some of those extra cards in his hand. Not going to be able to put all those creatures back out immediately, and Cyriuus is content with just putting those right back into his hand, and he is going to lock. He has Wasteland, so no more creatures. He's going to accept 2 damage from that Maniac, whipping him across the face. And Nillicomes, on the other side of the field, is going to most likely have to just play these Fortunes in his hand to keep his hand down. Twist of Fate is going to be used. Is he going to discard one of those Thrones, or is he going to go with something else? Let's see what Nillicomes decides to discard here. One of the Thrones.
Here you could see, by the way, with the Wasteland, exactly what I mean. If you are not spamming enough, if you are not able to spam enough on the field, the opponent can just easily Wasteland you with 1 Bridge. I mean, this little Maniac is going down really soon with 1 Earthquake. He's doing maybe 2 or 4 damage in the next turns, but this is not really important. And yeah, now he is in the Wasteland rotation, and it's really tricky for Nilly now to come back into this game, because Cyriuus' hand looks incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, a phone call. That's a good...
No. Normally this should wake me up. Okay.
I like that.
By the way, white, definitely wrong timing. Whatever.
So we see We see the Wasteland coming back into play again. Nillicomes being locked out. Observatory being pulled by Cyriuus as he's going to pull another Fortune into his hand and get the exact cards he needs to be able to continue countering Nillicomes. Nillicomes forced to use the Fortunes in his hand to be able just to keep his cards down. Grabbing a Hall of Amnesia, using that. Only 2 spells in Cyriuus' hand, so that Insect Swarm is going to be put into the graveyard. And I have a feeling that Cyriuus is just going to continue locking. Yep, there's another Wasteland. As we see so much potential for damage in Nillicomes' hand that he cannot use. And Cyriuus is just waiting for the perfect opportunity to use a Tower of Oblivion, make Nillicomes discard all those potential... There it is, right there. Tower of Oblivion comes out. Not only is that a ton of damage to Nilly, but the bigger thing is all those extra cards are also gone. So... Nillicomes using revised tactics. Go ahead.
The problem at this time is just that here, at this time, a Slowpoke deck is able to draw so many cards. With the celebrations, he has enough resources to take it every turn if it is there. He can draw cards because he's almost outskilled already. He is almost at the maximum. And yeah, with the Wasteland rotation later on with Atropos, he can easily take back his Payos. For example, play Atropos, take 2 Payos back, Bridge Atropos back, and you can do this over and over again.
Yep.
So it looks really, really bad for Nilly here right now.
Wow.
And I'm really interested if he can come back.
Wow, Stone Shield and Wasteland out. Nillicomes forced to use just another revised tactics to adjust his deck a little bit so that he can draw a couple of better cards that might help him out in this scenario. Looks like he's going to banish a Dark Assassin, a Lacerator, and I didn't get to catch the third card that he banished. But he does have an Altar in his hand now at least. That's a good card for him because he can get 2 more damage across Nurgle. That Stone Shield's still there. But
the damage is not coming, and because of the Stone Shield.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have not counted the Wastelands, but together with the Usher uses all, Cyriuus has still 3-4 more turns, I guess, till he is out of Wastelands. And I don't see really a lot of chances here to come back. And we see also the Might, so he's able, if he has Atropos now, to play Atropos, bringing the Payos back.
Right. Right, and
It
that's
looks
exactly
really,
what
really
we
bad.
need. So, revised tactics again coming out from Nillicomes, who simply just needs to get rid of some of the cards that are not going to help him.
Exactly.
And maybe catch a moment where he can get creatures out on the field and maybe grab a Dispel to dispel the Stone Shield out there. Maw of Chaos, Cyriuus Legion is discarded, so that's one more way that Cyriuus is not going to be able to do damage with POWs. And we're kind of at almost a little bit of a stalemate here, as Cyriuus is looking for the card that's going to be able to deal that final fatal blow to Nillicomes. Whereas Nillicomes just pulled a Cosmic Balance. I'm curious if he would decide to use this. Both players are getting rather low in their decks, and if they get decked completely, then it might be a little bit interesting to see, because, I mean, we see that Nilly has that POW. We know that all of Cyrius's POWs are still, kind of in flux because we don't know where his Atropos is.
What he could do now, I'm not seeing it, I have a little delay, but what he could do now is exactly the moves that I have said. Using the Altar, hiding the Peo, using the Cosmic after it, and he has saved his Peo, has it safe on the hand, has destroyed the Stone Shield, and has something on the field. I think this is the best move here right now. I would do it like this.
That makes sense. Yeah, I completely see the strategy there. That makes sense. Nillicomes finally gets 4 creatures out onto the field. All he needs is to be able to grab his Dispel next turn, and that would actually be the game. That would be the series if he could Dispel that. Oh, another Stone Shield from Cyriuus. That's... Are you kidding me? A third Stone Shield.
That comes out against the Slowpoke deck in the late game. He has just, you see on his deck, he has not so many cards left, so he has almost everything on his hand what he has. And now he looks really strong. That's why I would have played the Cosmic here. Because normally a Slowpoke deck is saving a lot for the next turns. It's like a bit in chess. Look on the next turns, what I'm doing. And if you destroy this one time completely, you can be lucky enough and discard all the very important stuff.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, there aren't any mass dispels in Nillicomes' deck. He hasn't been putting any points into Magic at all. So
Only normal
that's
discards.
yeah, that's going to be very tough. I have a hard time seeing how Nillicomes overcomes. I mean, still two stone shields out on the field, which means there's little chance. I mean, I don't think we'll see Cyriuus using any like Thrones of Renewal, because that would open him up for attack. But
And Nilly is just writing in the chat that he was waiting with the Cosmic because he wanted to mill him. That's what I say. Nurgle has not so many cards left. If the Cosmic is coming really late, that can be even more painful, of course.
right,
But, well, it's tricky.
yeah, I mean both players are still just kind of almost hanging on for dear life at this point, it feels like, as both are trying to find a way to finish each other off. And to be fair, this late into the game, as we see, 16, 17 resources on both sides of the field, which is pretty darn late game, both are just trying to find a way to deal damage to each other. Another Tower of Oblivion comes out. Doesn't deal very critical damage, though. I think it was only like 3 or 4 damage that just came across Nillicomes. And for this late in the game, 9 or 11 life, that's still actually quite a bit to have. I can see what Nillicomes is looking to do, though. He still has the Cosmic in his hand. And I do believe, from what I can see, he does have more cards than Cyriuus. So I could see him potentially winning by getting down to the point of using Cosmic to mill him, like we were saying. Make him try to draw cards. For every card you can't draw, you take a damage.
But overall, this was a nice move by Cyriuus here. You have seen he has bridged 3 bridges, I think, pushing everything back on their hand to do the maximum damage with the tower. And now, Garant Nillicomes is on 9. 9 is always a good number, because you need only 3 payers now. If it would be 10, you need 1 more,
Right.
And so,
and there's the
it was not the
Atropos.
worst decision, maybe.
Atropos coming out. There is a POW, which takes him down to only 6 life. And we see an Earthquake. Is that going to come across? Is he going to play that? No, he puts that back into his hand. Only 1 stone shield there on Cyriuus now, though. Oh, he faked me out. He used another Earthquake. Oh, that's why. He cleared out his POW so he could use another. Very smart. Very smart. Down to only 3 life now for Nillicomes.
That's what I mean with the 9 HP. So you need only 3 payers, and with Atropos he has the ability, maybe, to get those 3 payers in the target.
He has 3 resources left and only 3 cards. Wow. Cyriuus doesn't have any cards in his hand whatsoever. Does he have another POW is the question. Or does he have like a broken bridge that he can pull back the Atropos?
I think he still has at least 1 Usher uses all, and this could win the game.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I think 1 Usher uses all is left. I have not counted it completely. But with 1 more throne, for example, he could be able to bring the payo in the target, and this is the important thing.
Yeah.
Or to take back a bridge, that's even more important. A bridge, because with a throne it's not working.
Right.
But with a bridge it's working.
Nillicomes still has Hollow Amnesia in his hand. Oh, the only there is an Asha. He has an Asha and an Altar of Shadows in his hand. That's it. So he'll be able to use the Asha to pull back something like a broken bridge, pull the Atropos back in his hand, replay it, grab a POW, and win. As long as, I mean, the broken bridge will clear out the lane that the Atropos is in too, so he'll have a way to use the POW to win. That is absolutely incredible. That's
what I say. Bridge on Atropos. It is really lucky for Cyriuus as well that he has these 2 cards left now. Because Nilly knows now, okay, I have lost. Because Cyriuus will take back the bridge, Atropos back on the hand, back on the field, 2 payos, and with 1 payo, exactly what I have said, 9 damage was a good number, 10 would not work. And yeah, that it is.
That is absolutely incredible. Ridiculous. That was coming down to the literally last card. The last card in Cyrius's deck. That's beautiful. He couldn't draw. Dark Project in chat just asked why didn't he draw. He literally did not have any cards left. His entire deck was used that game. I was told that this series, the end of this series, was epic. That is pretty damn epic to see it come down literally to the last card pool. So, and now my mind is blown because we are even at 2 games apiece, which means the winner of the next game goes to Paris. That's a lot on the line, because the difference between first and second place gets a lot as well. I mean, a lot. There's a package from Razer that will be given to the player who takes second place. And
a lot of seals.
Yeah, exactly.
In game.
For sure. But the bigger thing is the winner gets a trip to Paris for Paris Games Week to potentially win the entire World Championship. Only 8 players get to go, and the winner there, of course, crowned 2013 World Champion, and all the, I guess you could say, prizes and congratulations that go along with that as well. So, very big, to say the least. We still have one more epic game. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. While the game is down for maintenance, of course, we are going to be releasing the Forgotten Wars expansion pack today. So thank you so much for joining me, JasonParadise, here alongside my co-caster for this stream, Enclase. Enclase, I can't believe you're taking time out to do this stream before you're going to be streaming for another 24 hours. That is pretty epic. I mean, we're already about an hour or so into this stream, and you've still got 24 more. How are you going to hold through, man? You got some coffee nearby or something?
Energy drinks. But to be honest, it's more than 24 hours because if the server is going on, I will start instantly, of course. So it's maybe a bit more.
Right.
Yeah. Will be a hard day.
So I want to get a little bit of insight into how you personally are going to be doing your stream. Do you have a lot of seals saved up? Are you going to be buying lots of Forgotten Wars packs, or are you going to play the decks you normally have and see how it fits into the new meta? Or do you want to make an Academy deck? What is going to be your course of action? How are you going to be tackling this new expansion?
Like always, I have not saved so much. I have saved nothing, to be honest. It's like every expansion the same. I'm not saving so much. I'm just power playing the next days and weeks and try to get my stuff with Swift tournaments and so on. Yeah, this is my plan. And Academy looks nice, but I really want to try out Haven.
Haven?
Because, I still think, I have said this already in the last spoiler stream on Tuesday, that I think this 4-point unit, the Crusader for Haven with income 2, looks so damn strong for me. If I think about the fact that you get 2 resources more every turn, and it's a 6-point unit on the field, for only 3 might. And together with Angel of Mercies, for example, you have also the card advantage, recycling cards over and over again. This could be damn strong. Yeah, but we have to see. Also Sanctuary and Stronghold looks incredibly strong.
Yeah, that new...
everything.
That new, what is her name? Anile, I think her name is. The Angel, the new unique Haven card. Like, that's going to be, I think, the equivalent of what Atropos is right now in the current Herald of the Void meta that we've seen. I mean, that's just... What a beautiful card, and I think Haven will see a big swing. I'm really curious to see how both Sanctuary and Stronghold play now, because I think they both got a lot of weapons that they were missing from this next expansion.
I don't even know. Stronghold was already one of the strongest factions. I was a bit surprised that it is getting so much strong new cards. So it could be that it is a bit overpowered maybe at the beginning. But yeah, in DOC we have seen this the last months. Over and over the meta is changing. Because if something is coming up too strong, heavy counter decks are coming out.
Right.
So
definitely.
Not a big deal.
Indeed. Okay, so one more thing to mention before we get into this epic Game 5, right? Because we have to see who wins. If the Garrett deck can take down the Nurgle deck, or, I mean, both. It's been really close. I mean, all 4 games, back and forth, kind of Garrett wins one, Nurgle wins one, Garrett wins one, Nurgle wins one, with the one exception for close games being that 3rd game where Nilly just ran right over Cyriius. The big thing to mention also for this next expansion for Forgotten Wars is we have the Altar of Wishes that is going to be released, which for those that do not know, Altar of Wishes is going to be a way for you to get the single card that you want. So you will get wild cards in packs that can be used as currency to redeem for the card that you want or desire. So whether it be an orange card that you were missing, something like a Might of Nature, or Forbidden Flame, I should say. Any of those cards that you're looking for that you've been missing, you will be able to acquire. Enclase, what's the first card you're going to be getting in the Altar of Wishes?
I'm still missing the Might of Nature. I don't know why, but yeah, the Might of Nature were never coming, and same, everyone is knowing it.
Right.
I'm missing Ishuma on my main account, so that's a second bad thing, because, well, if I have Ishuma, I have, like, I don't know, all achievements in the game that are in actually, because there are like 4 achievements, I think.
Yep.
Only because of 1 card and getting Arcana and so on as well. So these are the first 2 cards that I will grab. Especially the Might of Nature is really important for a lot of decks. So
Right. Yeah. I totally understand. I think that Might of Nature is probably going to be my first pickup as well. Although I think I'm missing 2 or 3 cards from the base set, so I'll be grabbing those as quick as possible. Got to get those last achievements, man. Achievements are big. They're that 1 achievement for getting all the cards in the base set for 1,000 seals. I want that. That's what I'm looking forward to. So
the Altar of Wishes was needed and will be really, really, really good in the game.
Totally agree. What I am also looking forward to, though, is watching this 5th game. And I've got it all queued up and ready to go. And we can see now who wins this series. We know for a fact it's going to be a 3-2. This is the first Game 5 we've seen in our playoffs. So the winner of this game, remember, does get a free trip to Paris to play for the World Championship. So let's get right into it. Game 5 between Nillicomes and Cyriuus. Winner moving on to Paris to play the other champions from all other the other qualification events, such as Gamescom, the July Online playoffs, things of that nature. Here we go. This is Nillicomes and Cyriuus battling it out, and Nillicomes is going to start this off with a revised tactics, instantly pulling out the cards he does not want to draw. It looks like majority of those being firebolts, so that way he doesn't pull those into his hand. They are useless for him. Instead, he wants to focus on the cards that are going to, of course, be able to deal damage to Cyriuus. Putting a Dark Assassin out on the field, no Week of Austerity was out, so no damage, but a quick Broken Bridge from Cyriuus. Really fast play. You gotta remember, this is the 5th game now in this series, so both players know exactly what's in each other's decks. They know what to expect from one another, and they know how to play against each other at this point. It really comes down to not only who gets the good draws, but also who can mind game and who can figure out what the opponent is doing the best and react. Quick campfires coming out there from Nillicomes as well. Those callers are going to be so useful in this Game 5. Enclase, strategy-wise and mental game-wise, if you're going into a series like this, where you're split 2-2 and so much is on the line, how do you keep your focus? What is the way that you overcome your opponent and win 3-2? What would you be doing in this situation?
Well, I had the same situation in Krefeld for the German face-off event in the final. It was also best of 5, I think. Just concentrating as much as possible and don't do a stupid mistake. Because normally if you're playing on your stream or just at home, yeah, if you're doing a mistake, you're losing a game. Who cares? It's okay, some elo is gone and it's fine. But in such an important game, you have said already about the prices, and it's also 4 days in Paris. So this is also a good price by its own. I mean, 4 days in Paris, that's not so bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. We saw that Cyriuus just cleared the board up with a Throne of Renewal. So, again, just kind of keeping that board as clear as possible so that creatures cannot attack his Nurgle. Also 2 Callers of the Void. 2 Stone Shields coming out from Cyriuus. The reason that you would put 2 of those out at the same time is that does prevent 2 different attacks, right? We've seen in this deck, Nillicomes does not have a Mass Dispel to get rid of both of those at the same time. So this is basically protecting Nurgle and stalling the game out for at least 2 turns. But Nillicomes does not want any of that, floods the entire board. This is going to force Cyriuus to either play Swarms to actually kill the units, or play another Throne, which it looks like he's doing right now, and that's going to put all those cards right back into his hand. Nillicomes is in trouble. There are so many cards in his hand.
Yes.
This is one of those moments where you gotta wonder...
To be honest, there's not so much on the field by Nilly. It looks like a much, but the highest unit is only 4 HP. There are no limbs, actually. And yeah, Throne is clearing up anything anyway. And Nilly has a bit too many units on the hand, actually, like we see. So a tower is really, really scary.
Exactly.
Already now, but it's not possible with the resources by Cyriuus, actually, because he has to clear up. He can't eat the damage by a Void Caller and by a Dark Assassin. But, for example, an Earthquake and a Tower of Oblivion would be really helpful here. He could tank the damage on top by the Void Caller, and Yeah, but maybe he has no tower.
So Maw of Chaos just comes out, and that's going to discard Cyriius' Legion from Cyrius' hand, so that's going to be one less weapon. He is not going to be able to revive a creature from his graveyard and pull the rest of those creatures with the same name into his hand. Cyrius' Legion used in this Nurgle Slowpoke deck to basically use your first POW, put it into your graveyard, pull back your POW from the graveyard, and then every other POW in your deck comes into your hand. That is
It's also an
so
extra
strong.
PO anyway, because you are taking this PO out of the graveyard back, so even if you have already all POs on the hand and one on the graveyard, it's still cool because you have for 4 points an extra PO.
Exactly.
It's
Definitely.
always cool.
So this is really smart by Nilly. He's playing lots of Maws of Chaos. This is basically denying Cyrius the options that he needs. So we see him discarding Fortunes. There's a Wasteland gone. That's one less turn of lock potential. We saw in the last game how crucial those locks were for Cyrius to be able to win, where he took that Wasteland and recycled it with the Asha Uses All, was not able to do any sort of tricky plays where he was going to put down any creatures, things like that. He was not able to. Was locked out completely. Those callers are coming back out onto the field, though, and there we go again. Another Wasteland. Cyrius is trying to lock him out again. Is he going to be able to stall out long enough to grab a tower, though, and do damage based on all those cards that are in Nillicomes' hand? I feel like that'd be the right move. Kind of go for the tower. I mean, the one problem, though, here is that Cyrius is down to only 3 cards. He has very little card advantage whatsoever. Is this a problem for Cyrius Enclase?
Yeah, this happens often with Slowpoke, because if you are using, especially with Necro, if you are using so many altars and Asha Uses All and Shantari Ruins at the beginning, you are discarding yourself really hard, and you are always playing more than the opponent. Because, for example, Nilly has played more units overall and more cards, but was pushed back all day long with Thrones. So, yeah, but now here's the Wasteland, but like you have said, only 2 cards left now, so yeah, it's a bit gambling now for Cyrius. He needs the white draws. If he is getting the white draws, he has a Celebrations in the next turn, for example. He can maybe hold on the lock, and he needs a tower, definitely. A Tower of Oblivion is so much needed now, so hard needed for him.
So Cyrius just recycled with a Shantari, pulled out another Stone Shield, 2 Stone Shields, and Nillicomes is getting to a desperate point. He is going to use an altar to get rid of one of those Stone Shields and also get another card out of his hand. Cosmic Balance comes out. That is a brilliant card to be able to play right there, as that Nillicomes now... Look at this. He also pulled out a Dispel Magic from that. So not only did he just discard his entire hand, which is beautiful because that way he doesn't need to worry about the Tower of Oblivion now.
Yeah, and here he's doing this completely right. He's not taking out the Gavin's Purge again. He's taking now out really the Cosmic. This is really important because the Tower of Oblivion is now useless for Cyrius. Even if he has it, there are no cards.
Oh.
And he also has destroyed 1 Stone Shield. He has saved 1 PO with the altar. Perfect move by Nillicomes.
That was really rough, though, that move that just happened there. 2 POWs, so 6 damage just hit Nillicomes. And the problem here
And the
was
throne.
that the throne immediately back. So both of those cards come back into Cyrius' hand, so we know he can put out extra damage. Nillicomes' Twist of Fate does get rid of the Power Deathseeker, so that is at least one potential way of doing damage that is gone from Cyrius' hand. But this is getting down to the wire here. And I was told the end of this series was pretty darn incredible, but we're going to see exactly how this does turn out, as Nillicomes does look to have a little bit of his back against the wall. Only 3 cards left in his hand, one of those being a POW. And he actually is going to get POW'd right back there, and another Stone Shield. But here's the big kicker here. There is a Dispel Magic in his hand, and that could really come into play.
Exactly. And Cyrius is not really thinking about it, maybe, because the Cosmic was used, so the shock is not so high that the Dispel is now on the hand. It's of course possible, but it's not safe. And yeah, he has not so many options anyway. We have seen his hand, but he has two Stone Shields again.
Right.
Oh.
So, again, down to only 1 Stone Shield now on Cyrius. With that Dispel Magic in the hand, this could be a turning point right here if Cyrius is not able to put out something else that saves him at this point.
Exactly. If Cyrius, what he would need is now, for example, an Altar of Shadow to make it even more safe, his Stone Shield. well, more safe. It's perfect. He is not defeatable then one more turn, and what he really needs is another bridges or thrones to
Yeah.
clear up the field
Use the throw.
longer and dealing the last 6 damage. Only 2 payos, and he has enough payos still in the deck with Atropos and so on.
Right, exactly. So that throne was pretty crucial right there. We know for a fact that Cyriuus has the Stone Shield in his hand still. So he's going to most likely feel safe if he puts that out, but that Dispel magic is just looming there.
Yes.
Where Nilly could use that and change it. Halls of Amnesia coming out. That's going to actually allow him to get rid of that if he does so choose, to get rid of that Stone Shield. And this is actually an interesting choice here, because he could do one of two things. One, he could discard the Stone Shield, or he could discard another spell so to prevent some removal, because he does have the Dispel. But if he does do that, he's kind of showing his hand, because I think Cyriuus would know instantly that he has a Dispel. Like, he would think, why didn't he get rid of the Stone Shield? So
Yeah.
the other advantage is he does see the hand. He sees there's a Tower of Oblivion and a Wasteland. So he knows what's coming.
Definitely.
But again, getting down to this crucial moment, he did discard the Stone Shield. I think that was pretty much the only move he could have made there, because let's say a Shantiri gets pulled so he can pull it back, he'll still have the Dispel available.
It's a good move. He is seeing the hand by Cyrius, and he knows, okay, my Juggernauts are dead, 2 Earthquakes, but also, if he is using it with the Void Wave now, they're coming 3 more damage on him directly,
Right.
and he has seen the hand. There's not so much else. But of course, he has 1 more Wasteland, so he can lock 1 more time now.
Right. We're getting right down to the wire here. Garrett's Purge coming out, and I'm guessing that he's going to get rid of the POWs again, because it isn't so scary to think about a lock or anything like that. He wants to prevent all damage at this point, and there's not going to be a point where he has enough cards in his hand for Tower of Oblivion to be worthwhile. Nillicomes,
Garrett's Purge is a disaster here.
yeah,
Really good 12 for Nilly.
yeah. This is, I feel like this is in Nillicomes' favor right now, simply because of the cards that are left in Cyrius's deck from what we just saw.
Yes.
So Stone Shield's coming out, but again, Nillicomes has that Dispel magic. He could Dispel, use
If
the
I'm right,
power.
also Atropos is already discarded, right?
I believe
I
it
have
was.
not seen him in the deck.
I believe it was from the Cosmic Balance. We never got to see it.
Yes, exactly. I think so as well. Well, this is of course wow. So he has no damage left.
There's
He can take back 1 Payo with Usher use all on Cyrius Legend. But he has another bridge, I don't know. And Thrones are gone as well, so that looks really, really, really bad for Cyrius now, because I don't see so many options to deal the last 6 damage. He has no Payos
Right.
left.
and
He has no Atropos left.
there's one other crucial thing here to mention. Both decks are almost gone. We almost have no cards left. So if that is the case, the way that Cyrius could win is by milling Nillicomes. He could get to the point where neither of them can draw. Oh, is that going to be... There's, what, 1 card I think I just saw left in Cyrius's deck? That's... I mean, it could go the other way, too. It's
Right, Quabble. Quabble is just saying Cyrius Legend can't choose by Usher uses all any longer. That was before the expansion. It's true. So there's no damage left.
So we see the Tower of Oblivion in his hand, which is not even going to be of use. Twist of Fate coming out. I'm assuming he's going to use this to discard the Asha uses all, simply because that right there is going to prevent any other tricks coming out from Cyrius. Yep, there it goes. It's in the graveyard. I think that Nillicomes is going to take this as, yeah, that's the end of Cyrius's deck. So there's 12 damage left to do, but Nilly still has the Dispel, 2 POWs. This should be GG right here.
Yes. Cyrius has nothing else to block. He has no cards left, and he has no damage left, so that it is. He is not able to do the 6 damage.
All
And
right.
this it was for Cyrius, I would say.
This is going to be the end of the game right here. Only 6 life on Nilly, and his deck is out as well, but he will be able to do the damage needed to Cyrius before he runs out of life on his own.
Yeah, it's not even close. He needs only 1-2 more turns.
Cyrius, look at this, desperately fighting for his life, putting down poison counters, hoping that would kill off the creatures quick enough that he could survive. But that is the end of this series. Nillicomes is going to take this series 3-2, winning a bid to Paris to be able to play for the 2013 World Championship. That was actually a pretty darn phenomenal finish to that series, both players being completely decked. That's I mean, for a slowpoke deck, you know, I guess that's a little bit more common, but not something you would normally see in other kind of play. What do we think? Enclase, I'd love to have your thoughts on this series. Was there any crucial mistake by series that cost him the series, or was it just great play from both and the better player came out on top? What do you think?
I think I have not seen big mistakes by Cyrius here. I think Nillicomes had a perfect counter deck. And it's even surprising for me that Cyrius was able to win 2 games, to be honest. Because, I mean, all this Morph Chaos and Twist of Fate and Garen's Purge and Cosmic and so on. I think Mana Storms were played, of course,
Right.
and so on. So many insta damage with the Altars of Destruction, with the Peos, the Void Callers, and so on. It's a perfect counter deck. You can't build it better against Nurgle, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is really well played by Cyrius overall, that he was able to win 2 games and also to make the last game so close.
Indeed. Most definitely. So we do know 6 of the 8 players that will be going to Paris now, as we do have not only Nillicomes, but also people like Grobble, who will be on your stream later tonight, and then also even Oyao, who won the July Online Qualifier. So great players that will be joining us in Paris at the end of October. Stay tuned to see who does win the 2013 World Championship.